Hi guys, we are back again with another video. Interesting video. If you are a new subscriber, karibu sana to this little community of limitless people. If you are a returning subscriber, asanti sana kwa
Mungu akubariki.
Kuwa na sisi. Mungu akuonekanie. Yeah, we're back again with another true crime video. Kama dawa. As usual, I don't know these videos, I don't know the stories, so as she narrates, I am also listening to it for the first time. I am Mombi.
I'm Shiro.
Welcome to the Limitless Podcast.
Karibuni sana.
Let's go.
So this time, let me start with the sources and a disclaimer.
It's about to get graphic.
This story is a little graphic. It's a little gruesome. I'll of course leave out most of the
details.
Yes, but viewer discretion.
I
wouldn't suggest uone kama uko na tumutu around you, but I'm not going to get into so much detail of how bad this guy was. Source ni internet kama kawaida, Wikipedia, Google, all things interesting is a very, very heavy. Allthingsinteresting.com is a very, very heavy
website
contributor of my stories.
Oh, of this thing.
Yes. Today we want to talk about the disturbing crimes of Ed Kemper. This guy was so tall. So tall. He was 6'9". Kilikuwa kirefu mpaka kilikataliwa kwa polisi wa Texas. The troopers. He was too big at 300 pounds. Don't ask me 300 pounds in how many kilograms? Do the thing. So, as a boy, Edmund Kemper killed animals, decapitated his sister's dolls, invented disgusting games, and at age 15, he murdered his grandparents.
When you said killed animals, I was like, and then taxidermy manenos, because in all the stories I've read, Akina Jeffrey Dahmer, Akina Ted Bundy,
yes,
all of them start by killing animals. Pests, Asha, insects. Insects, anaanza na grasshopper, anakaua, anakafanyia surgery, taxidermy, anatoa the insides, anaenda kwa rabbit, si ndio? Hivyo tu anaenda tu akipanda nini hadi anafikia human beings. Carry on.
See this guy's murdered grandparents at 15, and you're gonna see aliwaua under which circumstances, as in, yeah. So he started like that. There's this study, I can't remember the name, where it says bedwetting and human and
killing of
animal cruelty ni red flags.
I read about it too.
Ni red flags. So this guy confessed to killing 6 female hitchhikers, as well as his mother and her best friend, but the police did not believe him at first. They knew and liked Big Ed, as he was called, and he seemed like a gentle giant. I'm just trying to draw a picture of his demeanor to you. The police knew and liked. He is likable. This guy. They knew him as Big Ed, as in harmless, gentle giant. But in truth, he was anything but
a gentle giant.
Yes. He was a cunning serial killer who raped corpses, mutilated dead bodies, and buried victims' heads in his backyard.
Damn.
Raped corpses. Hapo tu huyu tu ni mgonjwa.
Hiyo ni necrophilia.
Ni necrophilia? Ni necrophilia. Mutilated dead bodies, and he buried their heads in his backyard. He had an IQ of 145.
Why? Smart man.
Normal IQ is between 100 115 tunachezeanga hapo but every time the APA American Psychologists Association wana revising hizo tests to make sure the average IQ is 100. Hiyo ndio average. So ukiwa 70 and below uko chini sana, ukiwa above 115 uko very very
smart.
Uko very high.
Wapi your test
ziko online but you have to pay. I can actually administer my IQ tests and show you how to calculate it.
So you will do that after this.
Pay me. So this high IQ of 145 only made him more dangerous because he was able to slip away from his crimes undetected. Yeye ndiye alipiga simu kujisema.
But like,
at the time he's killing the hitchhikers, he used to hang out in a bar where it's called the jury room. JURY. In US, our Kenya judge ndio utoa judgment na sentence. In US wanaitanga jury. So that
wana deliberate.
Exactly. So hapo polisi wengi walikuwa na frequent. That's where he used to hang out. So you can imagine how alikuwa anafurahia akisikia polisi wana discuss
cases zenye crimes zenye amefanya.
Unaget? So tuende kwa he had a troubled childhood. He was born on December 18th, 1948 in Burbank, California. Edmund Kemper, he presented troubling behavior from an early age. He had a tumultuous childhood. His mother, Colonel Elizabeth Kemper, was an alcoholic who possibly suffered from borderline personality disorder.
Bipolar. Borderline ni gani?
Ana switch.
Akona different personality.
Ngoja nikwambie. Hatupendi kudanganyana.
Google your friend.
Hatupendi kudanganyana hapa. Haki nimekumbuka nikifundisha hizi vitu. Borderline personality disorder, I don't even need to read more. It affects how you think and feel about yourself. So a person with borderline personality disorder is most likely going to have very low self-esteem. A person who has very low self-esteem usually lashes out on others. You mirror your insecurities on others. Now in this case, it's between a mother and a child. So if you have borderline personality disorder and you're in authority, the people when you're chini yako are going to suffer because you will even think unaweza pita because of self-esteem issues. Nikiona ukismile niko like, what are you smiling at? Unanichekelea? You know, and things escalate very very quickly. You will have erratic behavior. You always be predictable. Sindio? Yeah.
So now that is
the mom. Anaitwa Colonel Elizabeth.
Tumuite tu Mrs. Kemper.
Wacha tu tumuite Eliza kwa sababu what? Hizo majina.
Mimi hata niko like Mrs. Kemper.
Yeah. Baba ya Edmund, of which anaitwa Edmund Emil Kemper, once said he was a World War II veteran. Alisema suicide missions in wartime and the later atomic bomb testings were nothing compared to living with Elizabeth.
What?
That is the dad.
That is a husband.
Exactly.
Talking about his wife.
Yani anasema ana prefer
World
War II na wakati atomic bombs zilikuwa zinatestiwa Hiroshima na Nagasaki. Is nothing compared to living with this woman. So Eliza, she regularly berated Kemper's father for his manual job. After alitoka war, he became an electrician. And she refused to coddle her son for fear that it would turn him gay. Coddling, baby, my son, you know, in short, hakuonyesha mtoto wake any warmth.
Whoa.
At all. So in that, you can imagine being raised in that turbulent environment. Kemper Ed started developing dark fantasies. Fueled by these thoughts, he started decapitating his sister's dolls. And he says this about decapitating his sister's dolls. I remember there was actually a sexual thrill.
Oh,
He was a sadist. You hear that little pop and pull their heads off and hold them up by the hair.
And I get aroused.
In a nikadoli. Whipping their heads off, their body sitting there, that will get him off. So it's sexual. It's sexual. So apart from his mom having that kind of behavior, you know, the problem with a mother behaving like that towards their children, the son will hate everything related to a woman. Atakuwa akiona a lady ana imagine tu huyu ni makelele kama za mami, blah blah blah. So he will be either attracted to men because he associates the male figure with peace, or he will hate women. He will not become gay, but at any woman he meets atakuwa anaona mama yake, and therefore that woman will suffer, as is the case with this guy. Yeah, so he forced his sisters to play disturbing games like electric chair and gas chamber.
Where?
Yes. So alikuwa anawafanya wa pretend they are matching him to his death. Yes. He once even stalked his second grade teacher while carrying his father's bayonet. I was saying mnoma. Ni ile gani yenye inakwanga imekuwa kisu mbele. Yenye tulikuwa tunauawa nayo na wazungu tena yenyewe. He once
anakushoot na anakudunga.
Then ama anakudunga. Inakuanga na kisu, sijui kama inakuanga napatia bullet. Once his sister Susan teased him about kissing the teacher. Kemper coldly responded, "If I kiss her, I'd have to kill her first."
Na sasa kwa miaka ngapi?
Ala sijui, ako grade 2.
Grade 2 ni class 2.
Unajua grade 2 ya wazungu ni tofauti. So at the age of 10, his disturbing behavior escalated to violence. 10. His father left the family in 1957. Si mbali sana, ni kitambo lakini si kitambo sana. The young boy killed both of the family's cats. He even buried one of the cats alive and later decapitated it.
Gosh.
Wow. So, babake,
and this is a boy.
Yes.
A
10 years.
Boy. 10 years. Okay.
When Edmund Sr. left, the mother began to focus her aggression on her teenage son.
So teenage ni around 15.
She made him sleep in the basement, claiming that he might hurt his sisters. Huyu mama yake pia alicontribute. And she regularly berated and insulted him, telling him that no woman will ever fall in love with him.
So mama yake anatolea
mtoto stress
za baba yake.
Na unaona already mtoto
ako damaged,
ako in darkness yeye mwenyewe. So the mom is just fueling these things.
Very rich.
At the age of 14, akachoka, ako like, "Why, I'm tired." He ran away from his mother's house and went to live with his father. But by that point, the dad had already married another woman. Akamtuma aende akaishi na grandparents. Hapa sasa
it's about to go down.
Anapata his first victims. Living on his grandparents' ranch was no better than living at home. Because he called his grandfather Edmund senile and complained that his grandmother Maud was emasculating. Notice grandmother emasculating is basically
the kuvuruta, like emasculating ni kufeel ni kama hauna nguvu as a man.
Exactly. Thank you. So
IQ ni one.
So vile nilisoma hii emasculating, niliona grandmama yake hakuwa tofauti sana na mama
yake. Alafu our grandparents ni wazazi wa mzee ama wa mama.
Sasa sijui haijaandikwa. Lakini grandfather anaitwa Edmund, kwa hivyo ni wazazi wa baba. So she thought she had more balls than any man and was constantly emasculating me and my grandfather to prove it. Umeona? Maud. Mama yake, shushu yake anaitwa Maud, Maude.
Mode.
After clashing with his grandmother on numerous occasions, Kemper became angrier and angrier. I couldn't please her. It was like being in jail. I became a walking time bomb, and I finally blew. So being with his grandmother did not make things any easier. He was walking on eggshells. Anytime the mother would go off on, the grandmother would go off on him. On August 27th, 1964, kuna wazazi wengine wanazaliwa hii point.
Kuna mwaka moja. Ule mwenye tunajua.
Independence yuko hapa Kenya. Si tukipigania independence, kuna watu wanakuwa ma serial criminals huko US.
America.
Yeah. So Kemper got into yet another explosive argument with his grandmama. But this time, the furious 15-year-old boy shot her in the head with his grandfather's 22 caliber rifle. Then, as his grandfather walked up to the driveway towards the house, shot him too. Poof, kula yako. So, ameshoot both his grandparents because of him. He explained that he just wanted to see what it felt like to kill grandma.
Ewo.
But granddad aliuawa ndio asifind
Collateral.
out collateral damage ndio asifind out bibi yake amemadwa. After they were both dead, he called his mama and confessed everything. He was sent to the criminally insane unit of the Atascadero State Hospital. Alienda hosi for the criminally insane. There, doctors determined that Kemper had paranoid schizophrenia as well as very impressive IQ. I doubt this was paranoid schizophrenia. Because with paranoid schizophrenia, you experience paranoia.
He was not experiencing paranoia.
Hakuna mahali tumeona ni kama ana experience paranoia ama ana hallucinate. Because if his grandmama was emasculating, I mean,
hiyo ni anger.
Hakuna mahali.
So si schizophrenia.
Exactly. Hata kama ni schizophrenia,
just a criminal.
I think ni schizoaffective disorder.
Yes, that's really done.
Actually, siku hizi wameshikanisha schizophrenia yote tu inaitwa schizoaffective disorder. You know, schizophrenia affects your mood.
Ni kama bipolar. It's worse than bipolar.
It's worse than bipolar. You know, with schizophrenia, you experience hallucinations. Hallucinations ni perception without external stimuli. Like umekaa hapa, unasikia ni mtu akikugwara hivi na umuoni. Schizophrenia is bad. Or tumeketi hapa, you can see something dancing, but only you can see. Na anatokelezea tu anyway. Schizophrenia is bad. But despite the crimes he committed, he only stayed in the hospital for a few years. On his 21st birthday, he was released. 1969, he was released. He went to live with his mother.
Again.
Sasa ataenda wapi na baba yake alioa. Who was then working as an administrative assistant at the University of California in Santa Cruz. Bas. Free again. It did not take him long to indulge in his murderous urges. But, credit to him, he tried to live a normal life. Alijaribu.
After amereleasiwa. Alijaribu aje?
Alijaribu. Ngoja nikwambie. He was denied a job as a state trooper because he was deemed too large at 6'9" and 300 pounds. He decided to take up an available position at the Department of Transportation, truck drivers. I have heard so many cases about truck drivers, even in Kenya. As he drove around California, Kemper noticed lots of women hitchhiking. Like he was doing
Wanafanyanga.
Exactly. So he started giving them rides. Are you going? You're going in my direction.
Could you give me a ride, please?
Bas. At first, I picked up girls just to talk to them. Just to try to get acquainted with people my own age and try to strike up a friendship. He picked up over 100 girls without incident.
Okay.
Amejaribu. But he couldn't suppress the urge to kill.
Then he started.
So aliulizwa what crossed his mind when he saw a pretty girl. He said, One side of me says, wow, what an attractive chick. I'd like to talk to her, date her. The other side of me says, I wonder how her head will look on a stick. Anyway, we're gonna schizophrenia.
That's mad.
So you can imagine, I'm looking at you, niko like, oh, ni msupu na unaweza kaje kani nikomanda. Madogo. By 1972, Kemper had turned to a life of violence yet again. Hapa sasa ndipo tunaanza. On May 7th, he picked up 2 Fresno State students, 18-year-old Marianne and 18-year-old Anita, near Berkeley, California. He brought the women to a wooded area nearby, intending to rape them. But he panicked and stabbed and choked the 2 to death. Ouch. 2 of us, I can see things happening to you, and I know I'm next.
Yeah,
just imagine the fear the victims had. He then stuffed them into his trunk and drove to his house in Alameda. On the way, a cop stopped him for a broken tail light, but did not search the car. If he had, he would have found the bodies of his victims inside.
And wange stop him from killing all the others.
Exactly.
But funny thing, hata Jeffrey Dahmer, vile aliwa the first victim, angeshikwa because alimuua, akamdecapitate, akamweka kwa trash bags, akaanza kudrive around usiku na yeye. So if the cops wange search gari yake, they would have prevented Jeffrey Dahmer from killing again. Yeah. Why don't they? Mbona?
So he's walking around with them. At home, Kemper raped the bodies.
Necrophilia.
Umeona kile amefanya, ana associate women na makelele. So ana prefer kama amekufa.
Kama amenyamaza.
You understand?
Yeah.
He then dismembered them and placed the body parts into plastic bags and disposed of them. His victims were hidden somewhere in a ravine near Loma Prieta Mountain. From there, Kemper continued his murder spree, killing again on September. Remember these ladies amewaua 7th May.
May, June, July, August, September. So make 3 months.
May 7th May of 1972. And then from there, on September 14th, 1972, he picked up a hitchhiker, 15-year-old Aiko Ku, who had missed her bus to dance class. During this encounter, ona aka kasichana vile ni kajinga, Kemper accidentally locked himself out of his car. But so amejilock out of the car kama Aiko ako ndani ya gari yake. But he was able to persuade the young teenage girl to let him back inside. He then choked her unconscious, raped her and killed her.
But si kajinga juu
ama hako amemuonyesha the negative side.
Hako amemuonyesha. Maybe the girl saw it as an honest mistake. Na huyu msi anampea lift. So what do you do? Wewe ukipewa lift unafiling aje? Unaweza lambata miguzo huyo mtu. I'm just saying. Unakuanga very humble. You know. So I don't think alikuwa amejua what's going to happen to her.
Pole ku.
15 years is
so young, ni kadogo, and then this guy is so tall and so heavy. I think hata namchoke tu na mkono moja, just imagine. So after stuffing Ku's body in his trunk, Kemper recalled looking down at his latest kill with pride. He said that he admired his catch like a fisherman. He's a sick person.
What? Very sick.
Now, ameanza kuona hii killing haina thrill. Anawaua, anaenda na hang out na cops, afeel hiyo thrill.
Na wanapatikana
the bodies bado hawaja wanapatikana kwa sababu huku kwenye anaenda ku hang out anaenjoy being so close to the people trying to catch you.
And that is how many serial killers do. You find umeenda missing, the person mwenye amekukidnap ana join the search party
for investigation. So just for an additional thrill, he started risking kukua caught. he would hang out at a bar called the Jury Room, which was popular with police officers. There he made friends with local cops who called him Big Ed, Bloody. Kemper enjoyed being so close to the people trying to catch him. And even though he moved back with his mother in 1973, he murdered 3 more college students he picked around the nearby campus. He even buried a severed head from one victim in his mother's garden and left it facing toward her bedroom. According to him, it is because his mother always wanted people to look up to her.
What?
Imagine kitu yote mama yake ndio the real deal. So towards the end, his mother had been his real target the entire time.
Definitely.
His victims represented not what my mother was, but what she liked, what she coveted, and what was important to her, and I was destroying it. This tells us that his mother was the type of women, she's a drunk. She was the type of women who, these women who drink a lot, they also age very quickly. And you'll find that most of them anajaribu kuapply lipstick, anajaribu kujaribu kuji maintain. So by him killing these young girls, ako like, you want this, you will never have it. Yeah. So he moved back in with her in 1973
and killed 3 more.
Yes. And vile tu alimove back kwa mama yake, they started right on. Mali waliachia kwa zile horrendous battles zake, wakarudi. So hapa anasema they were horrible battles, violent and vicious. So I think at some point they even used to engage in physical altercations. Mama yake hata ugopi. Everything culminated on April 20th, 1973. Thank God. I'm sorry to say this, but at least that night Kemper bludgeoned his mother to death with a claw hammer while she was sleeping. Poof, poof, poof. He then decapitated her and raped her severed head before using it as a dartboard.
Wait, how do you rape a severed head?
Don't ask me, ask Ed. He's 72 years old. He's still in prison.
Currently? This year, 2023?
You know when 2023 they're confirmed. I'll let you
know. Okay, after he killed the mom,
akakata, akarape the head, akaitumia as a dartboard. Hiyo ni kumaanisha aliweka mahali akaanza kurushia dart. He also screamed at the head for an hour straight. Angeanza tu na huyo mamake, I think hatungefika hapa. As if that wasn't enough, he cut out her tongue and larynx.
Kitu ya kuongea.
And placed them in the garbage disposal. But the mechanism couldn't break up the tissue properly and spit her remains back into the sink. That seemed appropriate. Kemper clipped as much as she'd bitched and screamed and yelled at me over so many years. He then invited his mother's best friend Sally Hallett over to the house. Another collateral damage. He murdered Hallett and stole her car. Collateral damage juu alimuita amuue, ndio akiulizwa aseme wameenda holiday pamoja. Si ni best friends.
Yeah.
He then drove to Colorado, certain that he will soon see the 2 murders in the news. But after not hearing anything for a while, he ended up calling the police from a phone booth. And he confessed to everything.
But they were like, Big Ed. And they were gonna roho poa, and you seem harmless.
Exactly.
But
he began to describe things that only the killer would know.
Because there are some things police normally withhold from the public.
So when asked why he stopped killing and turned himself in, alisema it wasn't serving any physical or real or emotional purpose. it was just a pure waste of time.
Kuwa.
Emotionally, I couldn't handle it much longer.
Okay. So if this boy, if the mom hugged this boy, if the mom showed love to this boy, he wouldn't have become a serial killer.
Kama mamake angetake two time akue mama,
like if she would have become
avoided a lot.
Oh, so innocent girls. But mimi kitu nishangaza sana America. The audacity of stopping a total stranger's car.
Huku Kenya hata ukibebwa na kazini yako unaogopa.
Akubebe. Okay, huku akubebe. After all these years, juizi ni 1960, 1970. Meaning na ujua America ndio wako na serial killers wengi sana.
Wengi kabisa.
Like how? Kuna history nyingine, this chick ali hitchhike akakidnapiwa for 10 years,
akaenda mpaka akaolewa na huyo mtu.
Hadi bibi yake akamwachilia. Yani hizi stories ziko they are there, but still you'll find people
doing the same thing. Wanataka nini? Kaimurenda hata
ama America hakuna matatu.
They never learn. Hakunanga matatu. Kuna underground,
metro.
Kuna metro, kuna bus. Lakini basi zinakuanga long distance.
Schedule.
Kuna ni Eldoret Express.
na zinakuanga schedule. Ndio?
I think so.
Yeah, zinakuanga schedule. Hapana, America you need Christ.
Repent. So, towards the end there, I started feeling the folly of the whole damn thing. And at the point of near exhaustion, near collapse, I just said to hell with it and called it all off.
Wow, it was an operation.
Yeah. So he was arrested and convicted of 8 counts of first-degree murder. He attempted suicide twice and even requested the death penalty. But he was given 7 concurrent life sentences instead. Yeah.
Without the possibility of parole.
So at the time of the publishing of this article, he was imprisoned at the California Medical Facility. Along other notorious criminals like Charles Manson. Kemper is now 72 and still resides in that same prison today. He has participated in a number of interviews. Amepatiana information.
This is him.
Netflix kuna show inaitwa Mindhunter.
I think nimewatch.
Ako hapo.
I'll watch it.
He is a model prisoner in charge of scheduling other inmates' appointments with psychiatrists.
He's smart.
Yes.
And then states nilikam kunotice. Wakisha realize you are smart, they find a way to use
your brain.
To use you before you die.
Juu
hii kupatiwa kazi also pia ni kumkeep busy ndio because if you have an IQ of 145 and the people who are wamekushika mali umefungwa wako na IQ ya 100 definitely utawa-outsmart na uhepe. So they are trying to keep him busy ndio asihepe ama commit murders akiwa huko ndani.
But finally the people who know him have doubts that he has changed at all. Akona half brother who
bibi ya the second wife.
Anasema it's laughable
kusema amechange.
He will look you in the eye telling you how sorry he is, and at the same time he's plotting your demise and you wouldn't know.
That's true.
And you wouldn't know. So that is Edmund Kemper for you. He's also known as the co-ed killer, and that is how his childhood, I believe, influenced his adulthood. So parenting is a serious thing.
It's very serious. Because at Jeffrey Dahmer, the house
background
was not
same.
And the mom was, I think, she had mental issues and she was on medication. So parenting is you have to be intentional. Na hugging your 10-year-old son will not make him gay.
Exactly. Until
Will
the
not
day
make
he
him
says,
gay.
"Hey, mommy, stop! You're embarrassing me."
Eh.
And even then, that does not stop you from telling him you love him, you appreciate him, you all those things. Ni vizuri. Show your children you love them. Because even in women criminals, women who end up being killers, women who kill, who spree kill, they just wake up one day and it seems like something snapped and they kill their husband. Sometimes they even kill their children. Mara nyingi, when you look at the background of serial criminals or even murderers, even someone who commits one murder and just finishes there, background yao sana sana inakuanga troubled. Yeah. That's why mimi naona TikTok watu wakisema I came from a dysfunctional family na anaanza kushare tu vitu hapo, niko like, dude, do you know what you're talking about? Kuna dysfunctionalities kwa familia zenye zina affects
your brain
chemical,
your brain whatever, kila kitu inabadilika hadi unapata brain yako kuna vile wanafanyanga hii kitu ya kitu inaitwa CT scan. Wanaona
anomalies
kwa brain ya that person.
Wanaona like maybe kama ni
chemical inaitangwa chemical, like something ili change chemically kwa brain.
Ngoja uniambie hiyo test ni chemical what. The tests are there and they are done. And you are able to tell
what occurred, what happened.
There are tests and studies that show, brain ya alcoholic vile inakaa, brain ya schizophrenic inakuanga active places nyingi wakati haifai kukua active. At least yeah. So that's it. That's what I have prepared.
Thank you so much.
For today.
It's linked to parenting. It's linked to
our next. No, the first case is the one that's linked to
our next topic to talk about. But now this case has imefanya nifikirie. That is why unasikia people are talking about healing. Healing your trauma, healing your childhood trauma, so that you don't pass that toxicity to your children. Because inaweza kuwa maybe we had a rough childhood. Nasema we because we grew up together. We had a rough childhood. Alafu inaweza kosa kutu affect sisi, but without knowing, inakuanga unconsciously. Unconsciously we pass it on to our children. Na wao watagrow wakue kitu ingine baya. Kitu baya. You get what I'm trying to say?
And I keep telling my husband this. We can't parent our children the same way we were brought up. Because our children nowadays have the internet. They have, my son knows naweza chukua Uber na simu ya mami inifikishe kwa Auntie Mumbi na Auntie Mumbi atalipa cab.
Definitely akikuja hapa nje exactly. Wacha nilipe cab kwanza ndio ujue what's happening.
For us, our aunties used to live so far away from us. And then ulikuwa unajua ukienda kwa auntie atakuchapa kabla ajue
shida iko wapi.
Nowadays our children know I can run away na niende kwa police station, and so I keep telling him our children have very many options nowadays. So therefore you have to, like our parents could never apologize for our children. Lazima kwa sababu they have the internet to model for them. So what you will not model for them, the internet will do that for them. And sometimes it might not do that for them in a positive way, or the outcome might not be positive. Yeah. We have so many cases of children killing their parents, children killing children. Yani mtoto anachukua gana anaenda shule.
There's this story I read. I read. A son, firstborn son, aliargue na mama yake. Sijui mamake alimkataza sijui kununulia game or something. And then the mom was a nurse, so she worked late nights. So this boy, I think he was 10 years if I'm not wrong, persuaded the babysitter that mom is almost coming, is almost arriving from work, so you can just go
tuko tu sawa.
And then atakuja in the next week. So see, the babysitter leaves. The boy kills the sister. Na akiulizwa the reason as to why he killed the sister was, I wanted my mom to feel bad.
So siku hizi wako na watu wa kuwaonyesha. So saa hii tuna practice gentle parenting.
That's a topic we need to have.
Intentional parenting.
Like me nasemanga, this is what I tell myself. The moment I found out I was pregnant, I decided to keep this pregnancy.
Yes.
So my son hakuniandikia barua aniambia nataka kuzaliwa. It was my decision. The moment squeezy, you can go and have the pregnancy terminated. Na hakuna mtu atakuuliza, you know.
Hata ikiwa illegal but
it still happens. So mimi nilijiambia I chose to keep my pregnancy up to term. I chose to give birth to this boy, and I will intentionally raise him, model him to be a good person, kwa sababu the moment cruelty imemuingia akiwa mdogo, there's no way you're going to save this child.
Even if he doesn't kill a total stranger, he might get married and aeke watu wake in a lot of misery. So itakuwa a dysfunctional family a dysfunctional couple has given birth to a dysfunctional child. They've brought up a dysfunctional family. Yani it is going to be a cycle and the more we become evolved, the more the more technologically savvy tunakuwa, the more savage tunakuwa, you know.
The more cruel, the more inhuman. Unasikia mtu amefanya kitu uko like, huyo ni binadamu kweli?
Like how do you know, cut off someone's head
and then bury it facing your mom's bedroom because she likes people looking
and
up
then
to
you
her.
end up even killing that same mother, you know.
Me, I remember to grow up, like your mom was your
whole world.
Like
hata sahi.
And then uko na audacity ya
so you can imagine how bad uyo mama the injustice or how, you know, hurt that young boy ana feel amekuwa for them to just want to carry out revenge.
Alafu tena pia you need to keep an eye on your child. Get to know your child's interests. Na make sure haujamintroduce kwa vitu zinaweza later turn out to be juu. Mtu kama Jeffrey Dahmer here, baba yake ndiye alimfundisha taxidermy.
But unajua babake anaweza kuwa alikuwa anamfunza. You remember even me, I used to bring home dead birds. Nafanya because I wanted to become a cardiologist. Wacha nikwambie, serial killer ako kwa hii familia. But I wanted to become a cardiologist. So, mimi nilikuwa natafuta hearts za hawa ndege mahali ziko. Nione vile heart inakaa. Also, I was a very curious being. Ujui?
Curious being.
Kwanza mine was
kwanza
coupled with bedwetting.
Unaweza kuwa nini? Unaweza kuwa wewe unaweza.
Unaambia watu nini?
Shetani ashindwe. Katika jina la Yesu tunaomba
siwezi because I only did it on, I think, was it 3 or 4 birds?
Alafu
then it stopped.
You have the power to
niko na control.
Exactly.
But unajua you snap. You know, there's like a thing that goes.
So unasema ati to
be very careful. No, but
no, it's on a light
I'm saying the dad maybe probably his intention. Unasema nini na kuna baba alinunulia mtoto wake gani?
Alafu anaenda na shoot shule
ati because she hates Mondays.
Wow!
So huyo wa gani is a whole different story. But hata yeye tunaweza sema alikuwa anataka kuwe polisi. Ajifundishe mapema. But kama huyo kumnunulia hiyo kid, they were just probably trying to his curiosity.
Lakini mimi my point is kuna curiosity zingine hii you don't encourage. Sawa? Especially sahi especially sahi kuna hizo cases.
But mimi nataka mtoto wangu akuwe surgeon.
So utamnunulia surgeon kit.
Aanze kupractice kwa tu.
Excuse me, mimi nilikuwa nataka kukuwa lawyer. Sikupelekwa kotini. Ama hatuko tunaweka ati court proceedings kwa nyumba.
What I know, normal natural curiosity is different from curiosity ya when someone is sick in the head. Because if maybe your child is practicing cool, si wanachezanga doctor, si ndio? Na anakuja anakupima. Mtu kama Jeffrey Dahmer, hebu imagine anacheza doctor na yeye ako like, let me inject you with Valium. Umeunderstand? Make time to listen to those children as they play. Hata wording zao zitakwambia when a child is sick in the head, because guys, people are sick in the head.
Na ujua watoto ni photocopy.
Bas,
watoto ni photocopy. So hata akicheza, kama ulikuwa unasikiliza true crime, if that baby is sick, utasikia kitaja hizo
na utasikia
heavy wording.
Na utaona it's not scary for them.
Yeah.
As in, you know,
that is why you need to parent intentionally. Because if you just parent to parent, you won't be keen enough to notice behavior yao mtoto imebadilika. Anataka kukuja kukuchungulia ukiwa uchi. You know, utaweza kudifferentiate between the normal curiosity you're talking about na the sick person curiosity.
If you can psycho ni psycho, by the way. You can tell.
Now if you're a parent, kazi kwako. Juu either huyo mtoto ataenda huko nje afanye hizo maneno nje, ama atawageukia kwa familia.
Mimi na vile imagine tu Kenya tu.
Uliona ule mwingine aliuawa familia mzima atijaliwa na Eve. Initangwa aje?
And you know these things killing Eve. And you know these things they are happening in Kenya, but sababu sisi tumekuwa hiyo mentality na wazungu. I'm sorry to say this. Tumekuwa hiyo mentality na wazungu. Mimi ningekuwa time ya colonial fighting, ningekuwa Mau. It's not a secret. And I'm very proud. I would not have been a home guard. Anyway, we have that inferiority mentality tumewekwa na wazungu. Therefore, when these things happen kwetu, it's even very difficult for us to label someone a serial criminal. I've been doing research nikitafuta true crime case ya Kenya, and there are not so many. Ni ukweli sisi ni third world country. I think hata tulishuka kidogo. Tuko after August, tuko fourth world ama fifth ama sijui tuko whatever. But these things happen. You hear a grandmama has been killed in Kisii, sijui what. It's the same thing. Ni vile zetu haziko as documented.
Alafu I think zetu tuna label
uchawi ati mwalimu juu ya shamba, my friend.
That was premeditated murder.
Ati juu ya shamba. Oh yeah, of
murder
course, motivation ya killing ni vitu mingi. But I always say like
ati people they gorged a 3-year-old boy's eyes out juu ya shamba.
Huyo ni animal, huyo ni mtu mgonjwa. Ni vile Kenya hatuna you know resources za kufanya all
za kucover such stories, because na wewe ukianza kucover uanze kuenda huko nyuma akina JM Karaoke Manenos unaenda missing kupata pale Yala River. Na hii nyingine iko hapa, hii forest iko hapa
Ngong. Yes. Karura ni Ngong.
Kiam hapo Limuru Road.
Kiam
forest si Kiamba.
Nitakumbuka.
Umejua.
Hiyo kwanza ni wewe uliniambia. Sitakangi kuangalia hiyo side. Imagine hizo souls zote zenye ziko hapo. Anyway, you guys,
intentional parenting,
please
be your sister's keeper, be your brother's keeper. Na usipuuze, don't overlook hizi vitu. Ukikaa na mtu usikia amesema, hey, I wonder how I'd feel if I kill. Hiyo ni red flag.
Okay.
A normal human person.
Because in as much as unasema I can kill, I've never asked myself how would it feel like to take the life of another human. In fact, I'm very scared of that because I know it is not easy. Wewe usifikiria tutakata tu shingo na mtu aende. Wewe
actually kuna mtu alisema it's not as easy as they put it in the movie.
Si rahisi.
Taking a soul is not as easy as ati anamwekelea pili
ati choking ina take 3 seconds. Hizo 3 seconds ni 3 seconds kama umekapitia.
Hii mwili ni strong. Na vile God alituumba, I don't think alituumba tukiwa ati hivi ati una
kama kashui.
Kashui vile kana kwa kafanya. December, let me tell you a short story. December tukiwa kwa in-laws, tukichinja kuku. My youngest brother aliambiwa achinje. Alienda akashika kuku, alikuwa anataka kuifanya hivi. Of which ni hard to try. So me I told him unatesa kuku. Unatesa kuku. That is why people just chinja it like with a sharp knife unamalizana nayo. So that's beside the point. Hey, not tumeenda sana.
Guys, there's a half of the Limitless podcast missing in this episode. Life is lifing, life is happening, and we are together. Hatuja break up ama hatujafika ma celebrities wa break up. Sisi ni sakame, ni sisters. Ni ngumu ku break up, but life is lifing. They're in a different part of the country on a different mission, and we're hoping they're gonna get time and also do a video. Also, I hope tutapata time yenye inatugonganisha sisi wote wanne at the same time. For the meantime, bear with us. If you've come to the end of the video, if you have watched this video to the end, send me a kiss emoji. Ile yenye iko na inatoa love heart kwa mdomo. Ndio, let us confuse wale wenye watakuwa wameona nusu. Send that, and we are so grateful to you, our audience. You give us motivation to keep going on, and we hope to see you very, very soon in another video. In another video.
Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, and hit the notification button so that every time we upload a video, you get notified.
Again,
tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. Thank you, that's it. Till the next time.
Bye.